Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to Wit Family Fit.
Is that your impersonation of me? Seriously?
Was it good? No? Bad?
I mean, is that really what I sound like?
I don't know.
Okay. Anywho's.
Hi, y'all.
Hello, everyone. Welcome
You notice
back to
it's
Wit Family Fit.
oddly quiet today.
It's oddly quiet. There's just two of us in the car. And don't worry, we're not going to joke this entire video, but the title of this video is How to Thrive at Events, in this case a wedding, on the Optavia 5&1 program, with the caveat that today might be 4&2. So we're going to talk about it. You like our matching outfits?
Totally.
Well, they're not matching. They're coordinated.
Yeah.
Yes, anywho. So we are headed to a wedding. It's a 5 o'clock wedding, so we are assuming that dinner will be served, but you never want to assume
What you can eat will be served.
what you can eat will be served. So here's what I opted to do. So typically on the Optavia 5&1 program, as I'm sure you guys are well aware, you're going to eat 5 of your Optavia fuelings a day plus 1 lean and green meal. Normally, I always eat my lean and green meal at dinner every night, so I'll have my 4 fuelings, lean and green, and then my I can't even talk, my dessert, my last fueling. So today so far I had my coffee with a brownie in it, I had a mint cookie crisp bar, and then I opted today at noon, or actually it ended up being around 1:30.
That's a high school.
My husband's always fascinated by football fields.
Look at the look at the columns.
Well, it is Frisco, Texas.
No, this is Prosper Rockhill.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out, Prosper Rockhill.
That looks like a college campus.
It does. I will give you that.
Wow.
It's a very large school. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
We digress. Everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're a couple hours from home at a wedding. We just dropped
Had to come to the big city.
Had to drop the kids at my parents' and then our foster loves to respite care. We divided and conquered. We thought it was unfair to leave 6 children with anyone, so we split them 4 and 2. Anyways, these guys are waiting for us to get to our content. Sorry. So, lean and green. I ended up having a Freshly meal, which if you guys haven't watched my Freshly Fit video, you should watch it. It's a good lean and green meal for on the go, so you don't have to always go to a restaurant. I had that at lunch. It was actually hard for me to have that at lunch because my parents made one of my favorite meals, which was brisket. However, I have an idea, I think, that barbecue could perhaps be on the menu tonight. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing. If I had to guess, they're going to have barbecue. That's likely. A lot of Texas weddings do barbecue for the dinner. So, didn't want to have that twice. And all that to say, I brought a fueling. I could have a fueling at dinner tonight at the wedding.
All depending on what's being served.
Right. If there's something served at the wedding that is lean and green appropriate, where I could have meat and I could have vegetables and I could eye it, that's usually what I do. I never want to hurt the bride and groom's feelings or, you know, be weird pulling out my package of food at the table. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I find in social events, especially like a wedding, if it's going to be like a plated dinner or something where you don't really get a choice of what you eat, it's always good to have a fueling because I don't want to go off plan because I can't eat something.
Not only have a fueling, just make sure you have your lean and green ahead of time.
Right. Sorry, I lost.
So that way you don't miss that.
Right. So I made sure I had a full lean and green at lunch. All that to say, that's taken care of. If I happen to be able to eat a second lean and green or a portion thereof for dinner, I will do that and just count today as a 4 and 2 day with no fruit. I'm not doing the fruit because I'm trying to stay in fat burn. If you're smart about your lean and greens, like if they have lettuce, I'll probably do like a salad with like a little meat on it. That would be a lower carb lean and green, still keep me in fat burn. So that's my plan. And I know it can be stressful. Like obviously if you're going to a restaurant, you have autonomy over what you order. When you're going to like a work function or a wedding or some kind of banquet, it can be really stressful for people because they're like, man, I just don't know what they're going to serve. Especially like for me, I'm an Optavia coach. Everyone knows that. So they don't think anything of me eating like a bar. But if you're in a social setting where you're like, I just really don't want to have to explain myself to everyone. I want to eat what it, like, I don't want to appear to be abnormal. It's nice to be able to know that you have the power to choose that, you know, vegetable and that meat. Have your second lean and green of the day and not feel like it threw you completely off plan. Even if it were to be a little high on carbs and throw me out of fat burn, it's going to take a lot less time for me to get back in because it's still a really, really good, healthy choice. Let's see, that's the food part. Drinks part. Do you have any recommendations, babe, on drinks? I will not be partaking in alcohol tonight because I want to stay in fat burn, and you're not going to stay in fat burn if you drink alcohol. I don't care how low carb it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's any on-plan option for alcohol that will keep you in fat burn.
there's some like better choices than others. Like, I mean, if you had a margarita, that's not going to be as good for you as,
a glass of red wine.
Well, that has a lot of sugar too, even like a Truly or something. But I want to go into Thanksgiving completely in fat burn. I've been in fat burn for 21 days, I think today, 22, something like that. I'm down almost 14 pounds. I'm feeling really good, and I don't want to pull myself out of that, because I feel like it would, for me mentally, it would just be like the start of the end of this week. I am taking one afternoon off, and that is Thanksgiving. I will eat my 5 fuelings that day. I will have my lean and green, not my lean and green. I will eat Thanksgiving meal with my family, but then I'm back on Friday morning, and I still am getting on my fuelings in that day as well. So, all that to be said, a couple of tips I have. If you are really concerned, like you're truthfully concerned about drinking something other than water, bring a sparkling ice in your purse. I've been known to bring lettuce in my purse to a wedding before, actually, when I was earlier on in my journey. Do you remember? Whose wedding was that?
The Sanders, wasn't that?
Oh, yes, Mike and Stacy, which is funny. They ended up being clients later. But I definitely brought lettuce in my purse to their wedding, and I just put the brisket on it. But you can bring sparkling ice. Almost every wedding has Coke, Diet Coke, all that kind of stuff. So I'm anticipating I can get a Diet Dr. Pepper if I so choose. I made sure I didn't have one at all today yet. The other tip I have is, guys, just keep a bottle of water in your hand. Anyone else drinking their beer, you drink your water, because one, it's going to keep you hydrated. Two, it's going to flush any extra sodium from eating out at the wedding catered meal.
And another common thing is put it in your dominant hand, so if they are walking around with hors d'oeuvres or snack foods, finger foods, if you have that water in your dominant hand, you're less likely to reach over and grab something.
That's another really good point. So some weddings will have like past appetizers or like a cheese board or something. The past appetizers, honestly, I would stay away from, because you just have no way of tracking it, and you tend to just eat it. If there's like a cheese tray, that's a great option to go towards a lean, especially if they're going to have like a fattier meat for dinner and you want to get some of your lean in the cheese. But make sure you have a plate and you look, okay, how much is this? Because I feel like when you don't have it on a plate in front of you and you're just grabbing, it's really easy to grab a lot. I'm going to put a mint cookie crisp bar in my bag, because that is my favorite fueling. So when they have wedding cake, I'll have that. And then also, I am going to make sure that I have my favorite fueling on the way to the wedding while we're going, which is coffee. So I'm going to have another coffee this afternoon. One, because I really like it. Two, because it's going to give me some energy to stay awake tonight. Three,
gotta have energy to dance.
Because it's a little more filling with the almond milk, so it'll make me a little fuller to get through whatever time. We're at their mercy, so if the wedding's at 5, dinner might not be till, 7:30, I don't know. So, those are all our best tips. This was a little bit of a squirrely video, which we don't even have kids in the car to blame on us being squirrely. It was just...
Probably why it is squirrely.
Yeah, we're like off our game. Anyway, those are my best tips for surviving an event in which you have no control over what is served. I hope this was helpful to you guys.
Sorry for the distractions.